All right, if you guys are in Discord, go ahead and post an art related. I'll get to your guys' stuff. We're going to start with Chris's scene. That's a critique image. Give me a second here. Artstation. Wait, what? Hang on here. Going to my stuff. And then following. Oh, this is going to confuse me. Why? Here's Chris's brother. And he is probably following his brother. There he is. Yes. It's because he spells his whole name. Challenges. Dude, this is so sick. So sick, guys. What is going on? So, super stylized. Crazy, crazy shit. He's like a technical madman, too. Look at that. Pretty cool. ElectricReese. Sounds dangerous. Painting a missive in the roots of his tree vines, or I don't know. I'm just like, what's happening? So this shot looks really good. Let's zoom it out here. So this is one of his earlier shots. Compositionally, super strong. I really like it being tall like that. We're actually gonna, let's copy the image and we'll go into Photoshop. And we'll go up. I'm sure he's saved the camera angle, so he's got like iterations. Yeah, alright, cool. So in this shot, it's pretty, like a lot of the detail. A lot of the details down here. Whoops. Hang on here. Like there's detail hits here, here. Oh, Jesus, what is going on? Alright, Epic, where you at? Come on, Epic Pen. Okay, wake up. So, oh man, I don't even know if you can see, because his colors are so like unique. It's difficult to locate a color that will pop off of the, I guess a green maybe, like a, sure. Okay, so these details here. These are where he's getting all of his high frequency stuff, right? It's pretty cool seeing this little, there's a character here, the focal point goes up, you got this, the sun, or the moon, rather. I don't know if that's a sun or a moon. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, then he's got really broad shapes here and here. And I love how it's like this is one color, this is the next color, and this is the next color as it goes back in the atmosphere. Yellow is fine. All right, cool. Yeah, so as low poly as this is, I really like the kind of blocky shapes. The focus is right on the bottom here, the really cool water, and like he's got a shader where it's adding the little caps around the outside here. This one, it starts to get, this is where I feel like it starts to lose a bit of its composition. Like in this shot, in this shot, it's 1, 2, 3, and or the other way around. It goes like this, and then in the next shot, I think it goes. Man, it's difficult. I want to say it's between this one and this one, because this one doesn't really have as much stuff popping on it as these do. And then here, and then here. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to call this. The other thing that gets to me a little bit is the space here and the space here are very equal. I don't know if you're noticing that. So there's a lot going on in the first image. It was much easier to kind of like read what was happening. In the final one, it's gotten even crazier, I guess. Like the electrified like vine root stuff is pretty intense. Illuminati. And the water has cleared out, which actually I felt was the strongest part of it in the initial shot. Like, this is really nice, that scattering that's going on here. I would actually... Oh, I didn't even notice this up here. This guy. So there's just... Oh, man, it's difficult. Because I think of the three, his first image is the strongest. Look at where the greens are located at, and then in here, the greens are gone. Like, I think the greens are actually helping a lot with the color that's happening in the atmosphere. One thing I really like about this is he's experimenting a lot with like placement of the props and vines and stuff. So it's really easy to shift this stuff around. I assume that Chris is building his library of pieces and he's just kind of placing them as he's doing progress shots. And then when it comes to the final like week of the competition, he's going to build his composition up, and it's going to be probably closer to the weighting of this one. I would love it. So what's really cool is this this root here is like, you can see all the colors on it, and as it goes further back, they just become silhouetted with the atmosphere. I would love to see some of the like smaller twigs and branches and stuff out here, but no more than like that. I think it needs to be really subtle because I really like these strong lines here. And compositionally, I think right now it's kind of all over the place. It's really, really busy. And it's become very blue, whereas it used to have purples and blues and greens and oranges and reds. Now it's like see how much the red has gone back here? You know, this scene probably looks really fucking cool going through it, because then you don't get the overall image of like all that detail. Whew, yeah. I think this is going to be really good though. I have confidence that Chris will bring it in, and it's going to be freaking badass. Did I hear a follow? Was that a follow I heard? My tool is not updating. That tells me I got to follow. Metallical? No way, man. Thanks a lot, dude. Got a sub from the Metallicals. Talia, was it Talia 1 and Jester Sheepy or Jester's Heapy? I don't know. Thanks for the follow, guys. Dude, thanks for that sub, man. Awesome. Awesome possum. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Where are we at here? So this one is kind of fucking crazy. This is a substance. These little like leaf pieces are freaking great. Like from the side view, they're like dimpling inward, and they have a little bit of a curl, and it feels like what you. They're even going in the other direction. It's like crazy. The leaf placement is pretty nice. You've got some sorting issues going on right here, where you've got leaf albedo going over the top of a branch. But I mean, that's getting really nitpicky. I think from a detail standpoint, getting away from having your little the little pine needles, like unless that's supposed to be grass, it's coming off like pine needles. So we'll assume it's pine needles. He posted his final and finished. All right, we'll look at that in a second then. The variety of the little rocks and stuff is pretty good. The pine needles look, I feel like if you have areas where it's less and areas that it's more, it will become more natural. Actually, I should go look at that then. Final finish work. Oh shit, there it is. Dang. Yeah, see, in this lighting scenario, it's pretty harsh as well. Or it becomes much flatter. This looks good though, dude. And when you look at that on the side here, shit. Oh man, that looks good. So on the side, you've got your AO starts to kick in. That's when you get that depth. I would actually, so this is usually a huge no-no. Huge no-no. But my personal opinion is that you kind of give and take a little bit on it. It'll depend where you're at and stuff, but you see that depth that you're getting from the ambient occlusion as it starts to go into the shadow on the side of this cylinder. Bringing a very, very light amount of that AO into your albedo is just going to make your material it's going to pop like so much. Definitely in shadow, this material probably looks freaking phenomenal. I mean, look at the shadows you're getting from these branches, the little twigs and stuff. And the variety in your roughness is really nice. Dang, son, this is impressive. That's getting a like. The AO might be a little strong, but I don't know, man. When you see it in the shadow, it looks right. It's got the depth that you expect. Dude, crazy. Madness. Look at this guy. What a badass. Right, Aircon unit. Oh man, with updates. Awesome. So this is great that you added the explanation as to how the wire mesh is applied to the Aircon unit. It's his coolest prop, guys. As far as this detail coming out, I think that's fine. It gets really low poly here still, and the thickness changes as it goes around. So like it's thicker here versus here and here. Like you want to make sure that it's a uniform thickness. I'm not sure what's causing that. Maybe a bevel. Maybe a bevel is causing that, because the way it's being beveled is making it thicker. It's still really strange that it's dark behind the fan. I feel like you should see something back there, even if it's dark in there. Oh, the stickers look much better, and I love the addition of tape. It's still really low res, and I strongly suggest applying these as decals or floating cutouts, alpha cutout. What's the question here? Noob question. For these kinds of textures, is it necessary to use some kind of displacement height maps? How would you apply it to terrain, for instance? Everything using height maps, tessellation bump map. So it's the best way to show off how well the maps read. But the fact is that tessellation can be quite expensive depending on the engine. I think it's becoming much more usable today, and games that are being worked on right now will probably be using tessellation on all of their terrain. I mean, if you look at Battlefield, they're tessellating all of their terrain. So the height map being used to tessellate the materials is definitely something that's happening. Although it is quite expensive, I mean, it's all good if you plan for it and build to it. You can make it not as expensive by removing some of the costs, by taking some of the expense out of the things around it, right? I think tessellation is where it's going. When we can start doing parallax occlusion mapping with self-shadow and silhouette change, that's going to be a game changer, because that's shader based instead of like the actual geometry being tessellated and displaced. For people that aren't familiar with that, parallax occlusion mapping is when the camera moves, you see the depth shift as if there's geometry there, even though it's flat. Parallax occlusion mapping, or POM, with SS on it, self-shadow, means that even though there's no geometry, when a light hits it, there should be a shadow there. The shader accounts for that and calculates the correct shadow cast in the material. So even though it's flat, it's casting a shadow. And then the silhouette POM SS would be that's right, silhouette POM SS would be like, you've got your geometry like this, right? This is the edge of your mesh. The shader calculates the change of the shape of the mesh based on like how it would parallax on the silhouette, so it looks like displacement. And then you put self-shadowing on that, you're basically looking at tessellation, but with no extra added geometry. It's all in the shader. I could be wrong in all of those details, but I'm almost positive that's how it's set up. I don't know how to build that. That's for fancy people. By fancy people, I mean the tech savvy. The roughness of this paper versus the metal here, it needs some separation still, I think. I really like this tape stuff though. This is good. Like with this being a one-off prop that you're just looking at, I suggest doing a decal of the paper, or not a decal, alpha cutout placed on the mesh, and then an alpha cutout of the tape, and actually placing the tape and then bending it and curling it and stuff so that you get all your nice little shadows and stuff like that. Like, you're thinking too low res with this stuff. Whoa, no, we don't want that. Yeah, I think you're thinking too low res with this. Like, it doesn't have to be a 2K texture if you look at it like that. And like all this grimy stuff can actually go into the roughness as a tileable. So then you really don't have to look at the resolution being 2K. Like, this could be a 5K texture for the normal, and then everything, or even forcing the normals on the geometry, and then all of this is tileable materials, and then a unique like map depicting some extra details of like roughness variation and stuff like that. And then the stickers can be placed on via floating cards that are alpha cutout. You'll get a much higher resolution look for cheaper at the cost of just a few more shaders. Oh man, here's the fishing boat. Dude, this is awesome. Yeah, your quality has definitely gone up as you've gone forward. The wear on the wood is really good. I think that breaking up the geometry, so it's, oh Jesus, hang on here. This is the only downside with using ImageGur, is like when I use this tool, it minimizes them again. This edge is really straight, and just adding like a little bit of geometry to bend that down or angle it and slant the plank itself just slightly so that there's some organicness to it. Even beveling the edges and then shifting the bevel around, like like I can show you on the Ante motos. Where are we at here? So you have this box, right? And let's take, let's extrude this out. I'm like, sure, let's, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I need to get my hotkeys set up here. Okay, so let's say that this is the curve of the boat. Like taking this edge and beveling it without that many bevels, of course. I'm gonna just bevel these real quick. So this, see this edge here? That alone is doing a lot for like getting a look of lighting wrapping around the edge here. Taking some of these edges, let's do this, and shifting them slightly. Like that alone, like look what that's doing. So much information and such a subtle change. That's a trick. At like the cost of some bevels, right? You can even like, let's see if this will work. Might be a little extreme. Oh, we get some errors here. But yeah, like the variation that occurs there. Yeah, the move brush if I'm lazy. That's true. Where are we at here? Ha. Very true. I always forget that you can use this. Like, I like to be very calculated with my moves, which is bad sometimes. But yeah, so useful. Yeah, you can put something in for critique. We'll see if I get to it. I'm not sure if I'll get to it or not. This boat looks great though. Make sure to get some material breakup so it's not so clean. Like it looks like you're getting there with the wood here. Make sure to get some water damage on the blue paint there. I don't know if that's blue paint actually. It's like a teal. But just maybe some water bleaching, if that makes sense. Some water damage. Not full-on chipping, but you know. You're not sure this boat would float? What are you talking about, man? This looks pretty sick. It's very sculpted. This looks like a miniature with the way the materials are reading. I would say that the little bricks around it are too small, like these guys. Maybe like half that tiling. Because the scale of this feels really really small, I guess. I don't know. I feel like these are too small though. Maybe double the size of them. Other than that, I mean, it looks like it's going for more of a stylized look. If it doesn't float, is it still a boat? I don't know. I think right now the materials, let me see what the state of everything is in the, I don't know how far back that was. I'll just do this. Yeah, so the bricks are too small. And that right now the material is really basic. That's why it feels like a miniature. It feels like it's been painted, right? Oh, Johnny, really? Dude, awesome. It's fun, isn't it? I'm glad my YouTube videos can help you out. YouTube all the way, guys. Sorry. But yeah, the materials, I guess, are just, right now it's really basic in the breakup with the roughness and stuff. This looks like painted gold. You know what I mean? Like a model that was 3D printed and then you painted on it. But dude, the shapes and stuff and the way you've got the glass in the background, it's freaking hot, man. Let's see here. Jump to the present. All right, got a chair. Whoa, whoa, and other things. All right, let's. I'm gonna pick out a few things. So let's open in a new tab. Let's see this one. All right, so this looks pretty good. I think in your roughness, try and separate the grains out a little bit more. And the angle of the grain here is very, it feels weird to me, and maybe that's normal. Yeah, it just feels odd to me. And then maybe thinking about adjusting your roughness more here just because of people sitting there constantly and using the chair. Yeah, let's see here. This one looks pretty cool. It's very linear in the way that the shapes are. I like the variation in the wood paneling and stuff like that. Maybe if some of the shelves or the drawers, sorry, were slightly open or a little angled, some more discoloring, and then the top feels really washed out right now. I think there's a problem with the washed out look, and then the detail normals on the top here seem like they're tiling really low, which leads me to believe that it's probably 0 to 1. Be careful with the 0 to 1 detail normals. Try and build it in the shader. I feel like I'm creating procedural textures. I feel like creating procedural textures is like doing a puzzle. Dude, it really is like doing a puzzle. Dude, this looks hot. Let's actually, where did the other, what? This one. So what I would suggest here is getting some like nooks and crannies breakup. See that dark stuff that you've got going on here? Getting that like on the really tight crease areas and the concave spots, like in here and in here, especially here and especially here. It's really gonna help like bring everything together as if they're interacting. Let's see what else we got here. This looks really nice. It's like basic materials, but the idea behind it is solid. Where's the pole chain? That is a good question. I forgot about that, man. Good call. Good catch. Yeah, you need the little... I mean, I think the fan should probably have one too if it's old enough. Unless it's a switch flipper. The door is cool. It's really weird that you chose to show the door from the side where the text is on the other side. You really have like a nice wood material. Like you can see the grain here in the roughness much better, which is really cool. The door feels a little wide to me. I don't know if that's just me though. And then the door hinge is not meeting the frame right now, right? Make sure to get the other half of the hinge onto the door frame. And then add some character maybe too, like adding a lock or something on here, and then maybe some scratches in some good spots. Like the detail on the bottom here is really nice. Detectives are quite fat. Hey, that's mean, Bob. That's mean. Let's see what else we got here. These are overall, these are pretty good. Just add a little extra detail to your roughness. Bob posting some. This is cool. The one thing that I'll always suggest is when you make details like this, make sure that they're either coming out a lot or going in a lot, just to help. Like what's happening here is great, but you have to remember what people are looking at is like straight lines. What people are looking at is this, and that looks like basic shapes, right? It's like basic geometry. So anything you can do to break this up without going overboard is great. Like where are we at here? Like what's happening here is breaking up that edge. What's happening here breaks it up. Like this is good, but it's on the inside, right? So you don't really see it breaking up the edge as much. If this was popped up, if these were popping up a bit and casting shadow, you start to get a lot more shape variation. It's happening here too, which is good. Oh, what have I drawn? Look at this, guys. That's what you get, Bob. That's what you get. It's about the end of the stream. That's what that is. It is 9 o'clock, guys. What have I done? Oh, God. I mean, little extra little hairs. That's definitely going to break up your silhouette. Oh, man. Underside of it's pretty good. Very good. Very good. Created this bad boy. Yeah, you did. Cool. Oh, man. If you guys are not, follow this guy, Warren Marshall, on YouTube. He's great. He's great. Nice, short videos that get right to the point. All right, guys. I need to get out of here. I will see you guys on Friday. Yes, Friday. We're going to do 2 portfolio critiques, and then maybe I'll talk about something random that has to do with 3D. Maybe new tech or something. I don't know. And then we'll do some more critiques with you guys. And then I'll probably start doing portfolio and critiques just on Fridays. And then Mondays we'll leave for just trying to build stuff. Nice metal, buddy. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. Have a good week. And the outro. You never got the outro crit? Oh, my God. Oh, my outro. All right, guys. See you later. Have a good week. Be productive. And be nice to people. It's important. Also, thank you for the follow. Sayazalatozen. Terrible pronunciation. Metallical. And Loadout OP. You're not OP, man. Well, you're a little bit more OP. You subbed, but, you know, I won't nerf you. All right. Cheers.